hey, it's your show. I'm just here in it. Are you ready?
I believe I am not ready.
All right, I'm starting the stream. Streaming goes live now.
Is it live?
It's live. I don't even know. Are you on the splash screen?
Turn off your mic. Yeah, I'm on the splash screen.
Yeah. And oh my god. You were totally controlling it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now the splash screen's up.
I'm so good at this. I'm really so good at this.
That I can't like. Look, I take a lot from you.
Yeah.
That one I can't take from
No.
you. You got to take that one to the chest.
That was totally me. So hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to an extremely late, technically speaking, live show.
Yeah.
My name is Greg, and directly across from me, man that I hate with a passion of 1,000 burning suns, Dr. Scott Peachy himself. Boy, do we have a random show lined up for you today.
20 minutes late.
20 minutes late. Look.
Go ahead. Go on. Go on. Go ahead.
Other than maybe going live and forgetting to reset to the splash screen, other than that, I fix problems. That's what I do. I'm a problem fixer, Scott.
You are a problem fixer.
Mm-hmm.
However,
And
and now to Greg's benefit, he was trying to enhance the show. Had Greg not enhanced the show,
yeah, well,
nothing would have been broke.
yeah. So we had a bunch of cool stuff that we were going to debut today.
Totally did.
All kinds of like awesome picture-in-picture stuff, being able to show some of the browser stuff that we're like, as we're talking about stories, being able to show those stories off. All kinds of cool stuff. None of that works now. So yeah, this is what happens when you make last-minute changes and you don't get a chance to test it before you move to production. A little bit of IT, right? For all my
Miss Sheila, I knew that we were live. I have like a preview screen.
I forgot.
I have a preview screen that
totally
very clearly shows me, okay, so here's how the setup goes. I handle all the stuff on the YouTube side. Greg handles all the stuff. Really, quite honestly, the vast majority of the important stuff falls on the shoulders of the bearded one.
I mean, anything that you can't see in frame here is all the technical stuff that is
Greg he is the infrastructure guy. I just handle the YouTube side. So I knew what I saw, and it wasn't the splash screen. It was my big mug going. Wasn't a good look, Greg. Wasn't a good look.
Ah well, you live, you learn. Anyway, so it's been an interesting week. I would say maybe somewhat. Anyway, I think it's been an interesting week. There's
I guess
a lot
that's
of
loaded. Why would it be an interesting week? There could be so many reasons why it's an interesting week.
I leave it up to you to interpret how and why it's an interesting week. Just
I know there's so many opportunities. How is it an interesting week, Greg? Greg, why is it an interesting week?
You're hellbent now on trying to make me trip up in the same way that you were.
Did I trip up last week?
Tongue.
What did I say last week?
I don't know. There was a boatload of fun stuff.
Nuclear.
Oh my gosh.
Is it nuclear?
No.
No.
I still got it wrong.
You
Nuclear.
got it. Yes. Thank you.
It's nuclear.
Yes.
It's also swallowing, or whatever that other word.
What was the other word?
God.
Penguin.
It's penguin. Okay, that's not me.
That's
Benedict Cumberbatch.
It's just your favorite actor.
yes.
Bumper
Snatch. Cumber shoots. If you don't know what we're talking about, last week Scott had a mini stroke right live on the internet where he just lost the ability to speak, and it was hilarious. We laughed at him. I mean, we eventually called the ambulance. We really didn't.
No,
we just kind of sent him on his way and hoped for the best. And it all worked out.
He jokes, but it'll be a stroke that takes me.
So, for those of you who are new out there in the comments section, each week Scott and I get together and talk about the latest happenings in tech. We talk about whatever stories might have come up that take our interest, or anything random that would allow us to argue with each other, which, frankly, I think we specialize in. That's kind of our MO here.
It's so easy when all of you are on Team Greg, yet I was here fully prepared, ready to go to the live show at 3
I see you out there. I know
till
all of
8.
you, my adoring fans.
Yeah, Greg wanted to be prima donna and be like, I don't go live until 8:19.
I go live when I'm ready to go live, okay? Let's be real.
We know. We waited until 8:19. Why are you all Team Greg?
Because I'm the best, clearly! So, this week we are doing all kinds of new stuff. We we didn't get a chance to debut all the new scene stuff that you would see here on the live stream, but we are going to make history. First time ever. I don't know if that's true. We are going to try to do a Google Duplex call live on the internet.
Live.
We have no idea what's going to happen. We have heard that this is rolled out into our area, so we're going to try it live and kind of give you the play-by-play as far as what happens. We're going to attempt to book a table at a restaurant without speaking to anybody.
Yeah.
This is all going to be handled via artificial intelligence.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens. And yeah,
I have no idea what's going to happen.
Legitimately have no clue if this is going to work at all.
So, full disclosure about that.
Be prepared for that.
As I say, we'll get into it, but full disclosure, I haven't even tested it. I don't know what it's going to say.
We are going into this as blind as you can get.
Yep. So, but that's not the first story. Is it?
What do you want to talk about first? No, I'm just going through like kind of the big stuff that we're going to hit. So we're going to do a live test of Google Duplex. Google Duplex. There's all kinds of interesting things happening with that that conspiracy theory Scott had about a crypto billionaire CEO guy that lost the password to his $137 million fortune and then died mysteriously in an area known for faking deaths.
Let's go. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Let's do that hot take.
Yeah.
Then let's do Sonos as Lion Cold.
Yeah.
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 And then Duplex Live.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so for those that don't watch our live show, and shame on you if you're one of them, but if you're not one of them, you know my theory, and the theory is the guy who had a cryptocurrency company, the CEO that mysteriously died, very sad story in terms of the dying.
Yes.
However, a couple weeks pass and they find out that where he died, it was mysteriously in an area where a lot of people die. And so Stats and Greg and I, we have a chat, a group chat, and I'm like, hey, look at this. And they're like, ooh, that looks Benedict Cumberbatch like sketchy penguins sketchy.
I don't get the reference at all.
But yes,
to clarify, this guy apparently died in an area not known for a bunch of deaths, or known for deaths, but known for fake death certificates. Known for a place where people will go intentionally to fake their own death so they can, I don't know,
die.
Yeah. To die, but to not
over.
really. You know what I'm saying? So,
to die, but start over. And
so you brought up this conspiracy theory that you had when we talked about this story a handful of weeks back.
I think my conspiracy theory was either one, the guy took all the money and just disappeared, was like, I have $130 million, deuces.
Yeah.
Or figured out that he didn't have any money.
Right.
And was like, oh, I gotta go. Like, so they're gonna come after me and my life is over. Deuces. And it comes to find out, they finally cracked the keys, which that makes me nervous.
The linchpin on this entire story is the fact that this is a cryptocurrency wallet, and in order to get into that cryptocurrency wallet, they are password protected, extremely well password protected, which means that it's very unlikely that anyone would be able to basically steal the money that's in that wallet. Well, apparently they have done that. And when they cracked open said wallet to see the contents of what was inside...
What did they find?
Nary a dollar anywhere.
$0. So, in the story, it goes on to say that it looks like all the money had been withdrawn, like, last April, like, a while ago.
Yeah.
So there's been no money in there
for a
long time.
Yeah.
And then the guy just mysteriously disappeared in December. I think it was December.
It makes me wonder, like, let's see, historic bit... So was it Bitcoin?
No, it was.
Because I think that ties into because what I'm curious about now, what I want to do the research on, and maybe Stats can help us out with this. What was the price of the cryptocurrency that he had in that wallet around April, and what happened shortly thereafter? If that corresponds to like the crazy highs of the Bitcoin era last year before,
it was founder of Quadriga CX.
That's the
name of the company.
Yeah, Quadriga CX though I think is just that's the exchange. So
it's Bitcoin.
It is Bitcoin then. So around April, let's see.
April of 18, the remaining Bitcoin in the identified Bitcoin cold wallet was transferred out, bringing the balances down to $0. $0.
Historic Bitcoin price.
Huh.
What was the value of Bitcoin?
Bitcoin
around
value in April of 2018 would have been less than or more than what it is now, and less than what it was in the high of December of 17.
This article says the wallet should have had $137 million in it.
Okay, so that's where they're getting that dollar figure from.
$137 million.
Is that in today's prices?
No, but here's where the whole story goes. Either he took the money and ran, or he didn't have the money and ran.
Either way,
looking like he
ran.
Burdened with $190 million in debt and unable to find or access the money, they filed for a creditor protection in late January. The company.
In late January of 18.
In late January.
And then...
late January of 19. It would have been this year.
Yeah.
Okay, but they couldn't get to the money anyway, so whatever. I mean, that I sort of get. But yeah, I mean, if it fell off, I wonder if he... So the price goes from like a high, like 13,800 per Bitcoin in December of 17, and then it immediately just drops half.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, shortly thereafter is when it came crashing down.
Trust me, I am well aware of the crash.
So somewhere around, which you're still paying for, somewhere around, so the 5th of February, I see a listing for Bitcoin at $6,200, so $6,200 per Bitcoin. So, I mean, that's less than 50%. That's a greater than 50% drop. And I mean, I don't know what it was in April, but in February it was 6,200. In October it was 6,300. So it probably fluctuated around in there. But guarantee that it didn't make come back to 13.8. So interesting.
So, what I'm telling you is two things: either dude took the money and ran, because it's been liquidated for a while, or ran because
he didn't have
the money and he had debts coming out the eyeballs.
Which is interesting, because if he would have taken on a bunch of debt or made some terrible business decisions at the time when Bitcoin was just rocketing up the charts, and he's like, hey, cool, man, I'm going to be a billionaire at, I don't know how old he was. Not that old, I don't think, 40s or something.
30.
30, okay. So
when he died,
yeah.
I'm not sure he's
allegedly.
dead. I don't think he's dead.
I'm at the point, I'm starting to come around. I'm coming around on Team Conspiracy. It's not Team Scott. It's just Team Conspiracy. I'll give you that one.
Why don't you want to be on my team?
Because Team Greg is better.
Because you guys know it just irks.
Yes! That's exactly why we do it. Exactly why we do it.
That's okay. It's okay. I have broad shoulders for the rest of you. And there's nothing you can say about that.
Nope, sure not.
Gotta just take it.
Take that face.
Half-Nor Bjornsson. Whatever his name is. Half-Thor Bjornsson.
Yes.
I was close.
The mountain that rides.
Brian Shaw. Brian Shaw's my dude, though.
Brian Shaw's...
I'm Team Brian Shaw.
Cool. That's a big dude.
Team Brian Shaw.
Brian Shaw's a monster.
Well, but they're both human beings.
Well, yeah, both of them are like genetic freaks of nature. I mean, those are, when you see Halfthor Bjornsson next to his wife, and you go, those two things, that's the same species. That's not like gorilla, teeny tiny little
Chihuahua.
tree monkey or something like that. You know what I mean?
No.
Those are different species. No. These two things are the same. They're the same kind. They're the same thing. They're the same thing, Scott. Think about that. What? They're the same thing. That dude is giant.
Why?
He weighs more than the three of us put together.
Why?
He's
Not
enormous.
quite. He's just north of 400 pounds.
He's just north of 400 pounds?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm giving Scott the benefit of the doubt.
You're getting real gracious with that weight, man. Getting real gracious. Brian Shaw wears a 6X. Wears a 6X because he can't fit his shoulders, and he doesn't wear hooded sweatshirts because he can't get it over his shoulders.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. He has an awesome YouTube channel.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been to his channel before.
Huh. Fascinating.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
I hope he like really goes into the culture of like competitive lifting and all that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really fascinating to watch. He's on there with his wife too.
Oh, okay.
And they ask some very the obvious question where I mentioned earlier.
Yeah,
they're like, so how does that work?
Yeah.
So somebody straight up asks, so they answer. It's really funny.
Oh, I have to see this video now.
It's really funny.
Oh, I have to see this video now.
All right, so that was Crypto Guy. Sonos. Oh, man. Sonos, why you lie? Why you lie? You lie like a rug. You lie. Sonos, I love you. You know I love Sonos.
Yeah, you do.
I do love Sonos.
You tolerate them.
Great sound.
Okay, yeah, they actually do.
Fantastic sound. I have a video out on our channel. It's old at this point.
Yeah.
There's they shoved Alexa into a Sonos One. Smart. I don't really like Alexa.
Mm-hmm.
She's nosy.
Yeah.
Where in my video I was like, "Hey Alexa."
You probably just set off everybody's
"Hey Alexa"
thing. Yeah.
And so she would come on all the time, and I could hear her like basically from here to the next county.
Yeah.
And I don't really like that. I was like, I want to use the Google Assistant because it's just better.
Yeah.
Sonos was like, yeah, we're totally going to put the Google Assistant in the Sonos One in the end of 2018. It's March of 2019.
It's the end of the first quarter.
And they said early 19 we'd be getting the Google Assistant. I still haven't seen that in the Sonos One. So what did they do? They released a new product.
Yeah.
A refresh on the Sonos One. With what? 0% more Google Assistant.
0% more Google Assistant.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Even Apple allows the Google Assistant on their iPhone, and I have multiple iPhone users come to me and go, yeah, I don't use Siri, I just use the Assistant.
Yeah.
It's an extra button press for them.
Yeah.
And they still use it.
Because it's better.
Correct. So what does Sonos do? No. Nah, dog, I don't want to put the Google Assistant in my actually quite awesome speakers.
Yeah.
So what do? I'm not buying Sonos One. I'm going to get me a Google Home Max again.
There you do.
I will have it for my third one.
Your third Google Home Max.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You have enough speaker system with 3 Google Home Maxes to like blow the glass out the first floor of your house. Like those things are so ridiculous.
So loud.
Like
so loud.
Like I thought the little Marshall speaker, the little Stanmore speaker was loud. Doesn't even come close. The Google Home Max is
the Google Home Max gets
bananas
so loud that you can be right next to it when it's playing music and say, hey, keyword.
Yeah.
And it can't hear you. You then scream, hey, keyword, and it still can't hear you.
Wow.
And I'm talking like within feet.
Yeah.
Can't hear you.
That's crazy.
Because it gets so loud.
I have a story about assistants that suck.
Cortana
is baked into the Xbox. And as of late, I had fired up my Xbox and had gotten online. One of my buddies was just texting me and asking if I was going to get online tonight. I'm like, it's a live show. Come on. You know this. Andre, I know you're watching. Jerk.
Andre!
But not in the comment section, no, because he is streaming live. He is on Mixer. One thing that I do think the Xbox does very well is they've integrated a lot of streaming tools and stuff like that, which I think is very cool. They have an assistant in there, Cortana, which is also natively baked into Windows 10. However, the voice detection for Cortana is so freaking bad. The number of times that I've just been on like a voice chat, like voice over IP chat with him or something along those lines, and I say nothing that I can even sort of kind of understand how Cortana would think that I'm talking to that nosy B word, and she just pops up on my screen and is like, yeah, hey, how can I help you? I'm like, no!
Like, I don't need your help.
Not even a little bit. And then I can't figure out how to make her go away either. So, Cortana. Awful. Microsoft, what is you doing?
What is you doing,
Fix it!
baby?
It's terrible!
Why?
Yes.
Why?
On the subject of Microsoft and the Xbox, since this is kind of a neat little... It's an easy segue, and then you can do your whatever with your thing and your stuff. The whatever.
It's why everybody's here.
I know, right? Seriously.
I'm going to be really disappointed if it doesn't work.
It'll be an interesting test. So there's some more Xbox news that came out. Occasionally we do talk about video game stuff. I know you have an absolute love and fascination with Mortal Kombat 11, which is coming out.
I have loved Mortal Kombat since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Mortal Kombat was like the forbidden fruit. I was never allowed to play Mortal Kombat because my mom was like, it's bloody and violent, and you'll grow up to be an axe murderer or something. And I mean, who knew that she would be right? But it's a great looking game. It's a gorgeous looking game.
Oh my god!
And they announced Cassie Cage, and we were just talking before the show went live about how I mean, at this point, it's not even fair to say. Like, of course it is. It's so over the top, vulgar, and violent.
I love it.
All the fatalities.
I can't get enough of it.
They're so good.
It's
so hilarious.
So if you haven't watched, well, I was telling him earlier, if you haven't watched Cassie Cage's, what she does is she does the Johnny Cage kick. So what is his like? What's the green stuff that like his power? Like,
no, whatever. It's like some chi or energy thing, whatever. So I don't get into that level of Mortal Kombat.
Right. So whatever Johnny Cage's power is, where he does the
like shadow kicks through you.
The shadow kick straight through you. She hits you right in the chest, knocks your heart out. And she shoves her hand between your rib cage, makes a heart like this, and then blows you a kiss from the camera lens. Fantastic. It's so violent, so gory, but it's like those little attention, like
over the top,
like those little attention to detail thingies that I just truly, truly love. And then she also, when she knocks you down in the first round, she'll dab on you. So like she'll dab on the corpse. Just like those little attention to details, like I absolutely love.
That's
like the Johnny Cage one from last week.
Oh
that
yeah.
Like that is an attention to detail I had to watch on the second time around because I didn't catch it first.
That's hilarious.
Because I was looking at the face.
I love that they've just leaned into the campiness of the hyper violence. Like it's like I could understand when it was like this is gonna sound ridiculous, when it was semi-realistic violence, like, oh wow, like you just punch that dude right in the chest and it really hurt. But I feel like if you just get so freaking overboard with it to where it's like that's not even remotely human possible, it just transcends the creepy. It's the uncanny valley. Like it gets uncomfortable and then it just gets hilarious again. And it's like the Three Stooges level of over the top campy comedy. There's just a lot of blood in it.
There's a ton, and like the X-rays.
It's so funny.
The X-rays are so over the top that if you just did one hit, you would be done. But that's just a combo of a part of a single round. Like that.
It's like a 15-hit combo, and one of those hits shows like their neck breaking, and then they just keep going. Just
keep going like no problem. Like it's just, I love it. It's fantastic.
Oh man. But so a platform that you'll possibly be able to play Mortal Kombat 11 on is the newly announced Xbox. It was codenamed Maverick for a while, but they've just recently announced, Microsoft has said that they are in fact doing a diskless Xbox called the I was very clear. I enunciated.
You were
clear.
Super clear.
It's the Xbox One S all digital edition. So basically, short version is they're not going to have a like CD-ROM tray or a Blu-ray tray or anything like that for it. It's going to help it come down in money. I specifically bring this up not because I feel like we have a bunch of people that are into video games or anything like that, but it is going to be, by every indication, is going to be the cheapest Xbox on the market. Ever. The Xbox One S is a 4K Xbox. And it is, I have one sitting just out of camera range right over there. It is a fantastic media appliance. I absolutely love it just for playing media. Now, I obviously have the one that plays Blu-rays because I also love movies, so I have a whole bunch of Blu-rays to play. That is my primary Blu-ray player. But I'm also a big lover of Plex, so all of my digital media, I have digitized all of my movies. All of my digital media can be pulled up right via Plex. And it also has like YouTube app and stuff like that. So the idea of Microsoft going all in and saying like, hey, let's make this thing as cheap as possible and try and get it into as many homes as possible. And even if you're not into video games, this thing is an amazing like home media center console. Mm-hmm. Brilliant idea. And best part is supposedly debuting this May, as in like a couple months from now. So keep your eyes out for that. And this fits in line with kind of what Scott and I have been talking about with some of the more recent announcements from Google, for example, mm-hmm. and there's a company called Shadow that is doing something like this. But short version is that the future of gaming appears to be all digital, no discs, and a large portion of that will be streaming, just like Netflix, where you don't own a disc or you don't even necessarily do the download. It's just you hit play and then it just like streams the content right to your console. So interesting.
Yes.
Interesting development. I think that Microsoft is even going in this direction, despite kind of the crappy condition that the internet is in right now with data caps showing up on a lot of
parlays very nicely to what Preston just said.
Yeah.
The biggest roadblock for downloading games is the awful home broadband.
Yeah. I fundamentally agree with that.
But Greg's getting Greg's getting new internet tomorrow, and I am super jealous.
Oh my god! So last week was our first test on a new internet service provider that I had for like maybe 3 days. I had 400 megabits down and 20 megabits up, and it was okay. My wife didn't really care for the cable package itself, so we shopped around a little bit more. And tomorrow I get installed a modem that will give me 500 meg down and 50 megabits up. I can't wait. I can't wait.
I am going to make that call tomorrow to see if I can also get that.
For real. Yeah, super excited about that one.
Otherwise, I'll be calling the first company that you got, because I don't care about cable, because I don't have cable.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, so let me talk about them internets.
The internet they have is legit. Like, even if the only reason we switched off of them was the cable issue. That's the only reason. Because the internet itself, I was super happy with. So,
the sad part about this completely wireless idea is going to put companies like GameStop and other retailers out of business to a degree.
So, yes. GameStop, what's interesting about GameStop is they're in a bad position as it is, because a handful of years ago, GameStop started getting a lot of investor attention because of how much money they were making on the secondary market. And that is basically buying and selling of used games. Now, I think there's still probably some room for GameStop to exist, because classic games is kind of a growing niche amongst especially adult age gamers. Like myself, I would almost rather play some Super Nintendo era games. The idea that it doesn't have to be online. I mean, you might have some multiplayer stuff, but it doesn't require an internet connection, much simpler to deal with. Cartridges, you don't really have to worry about scratches or anything like that. So retro gaming is still a very, very huge market, and there's still the opportunity for GameStop to participate in that secondary market, embracing some of that retro scene. But it will be very interesting to see how they parlay their business, instead of being just about brand new games or used games as DLC and stuff like that becomes more and more prevalent. What are they going to do? They could still do online games. Basically, what they do now is they sell a voucher. So you go in and you buy like a card. It looks like a gift card. You check out, you pay GameStop, and then you go home and you scratch off your little code and you enter it into your Xbox, and then boom, now you have the digital download. The problem with that is I can just buy the game on the Xbox store. I can skip the step of having to leave my house. So they're going to have to do something. It'll be interesting to see what they do.
They're going to have to figure out something much like Barnes & Noble.
Yeah, Barnes & Noble for sure.
Like, they'll have to do something like a bookstore. So, like, GameStop will probably exist, much like Barnes & Nobles exist, but they're going to have to do something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I don't know the answer.
Yeah, I mean, GameStop is kind of what's interesting about them is they're kind of like the last man standing in the traditional brick and mortar game store, because there used to be a whole bunch of them. There was one in my mall where I grew up back home called Babbage's, and then there was EB Games.
I remember EB Games.
Yeah. Electronics Boutique, baby. So there's a whole bunch of these kind of like, consumer electronics, mostly focused on video games. You could go there and buy like neat gadgets and stuff like that, and all of them have died except for GameStop, because they pivoted so well into just dealing with video games, because that was really where the big market was.
I wonder if they could do like a coffee shop, or not coffee shop, but
like
shop
cafe
like
style.
something like that, where you go there and anything to basically keep the brand going.
Yeah, I mean that's a desperation play, because a lot of GameStop stores right now are, I mean, the footprint is so minimal. It's basically a hallway that's lined on both sides with just floor-to-ceiling games, and then there's just enough room for a checkout counter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, I don't
know how they're going to...
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. They've got to do something. Though.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's a tough one. That's an
good
interesting
question.
point. Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
You're not old. Almost 40? No. 40's the new 30.
For real, though. Yeah. Old enough to remember video games.
How old are you? 53? 53?
Yeah, 54 actually. But hey,
you look great for 54.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'll embrace it. Hey, call me old all you want to. My wife does the same thing. I'll embrace it. I'm good with it.
I almost went, how's that bald spot? But I didn't. I think I have a bald spot going.
I mean, at our
look at our age, like I've been lucky to have hair as long as I have had.
I agree. So
my
dad is also bald, and I am fortunate in that I had to spend some time being very, very bald, and in doing so, I realized I at least have the dome to rock a bald head. So I'm happy that I have hair. I honestly, when I started growing hair again, did not think I was going to get anywhere close to this.
I did not either.
At all. And so the fact that I have hair is impressive enough to me. And then when it eventually goes, I'm not going to waste any time. Like, if it looks at all terrible, I'm just going to shave it. I can do a bald head. I'm good with that. I will keep the beard, though. Better believe it. I've been working on this thing for a minute. Gotta keep it.
I've been on a minute. Google Duplex. I'm tweeting right now. It's Google Duplex time. Google Duplex time. Watch the live show. That's right. Live on air. Live on air. So here is the deal with Google Duplex. Today, so let me give you the backstory of why this matters. I love Google Duplex.
I feel like you're reading a script.
No, I'm pulling up the thing.
Yeah.
Why you gonna call me out like that, man? Like, I feel like you're reading a script. I was literally going to the show notes to try to pull up.
I love Google Duplex. It is a very good program.
Go what, San Diego?
Goggle has not paid me.
What does San Diego need to do? Google Assistant. Google Duplex is where you can go and tell the assistant to do a thing. Book a hotel room, book a nail appointment, like Greg's into pedicures.
Super big time into. Yeah.
Book a restaurant.
Mani-pedi, baby.
But it was in just a very limited amount of states. Now, today, you can use it on all Pixel phones in 43 states. And according to this is blog.google/products and a whole bunch of other stuff.
And a bunch of, yeah.
But this is a Google site from Scott Huffman, VP Engineering, Google Assistant. Published March 6th. I believe that's today. Yes?
Pretty close to it. It is.
All it takes
today's
is
7th. 6 was yesterday.
All it takes is a few seconds to tell your assistant where you'd like to go. Just ask the assistant on your phone, book a table for 4 at blank restaurant tomorrow night. So, I have no idea what it's going to say.
Does Five Guys take reservations?
No, they do not. If only. Look, I wish I could say, deliver Five Guys here.
Yeah.
That.
Raid! I like it. I'm into it. We've been raided. I appreciate it.
Yes!
Hey, I'm telling you, you all came at the perfect time.
You guys are going to see Google Duplex either fail or not.
You all are about to make history with us as we, for the first time in the history of the internet, we are going to test Google Duplex live on the internet.
I don't know, because I was actually on his live stream earlier, like an hour and a half earlier. Woo!
Y'all are the best. So,
okay.
if you haven't seen it yet, go out to YouTube and just type in Google Duplex. You'll see Sundar Pichai from a couple of years ago where he's up on stage talking about this like super cool thing. He basically tells the assistant to make a reservation, and it sounds like a human that calls a restaurant and tries to book him an appointment. So for those of you that are just joining us, apparently that feature's been rolled out to a whole bunch of other states. And we're about to figure out what happens. Yeah. We have no idea. We have never tested this before, so we are just gonna see what happens. Do you know what restaurants in...
No.
Really?
I have no idea. It just says, all it says on the site is book a restaurant at the restaurant name tomorrow night. That's all it says. So I am going to literally use the words, book a table for 4 at, and I'm going to name a restaurant tomorrow night. For those of you that have the Google Assistant on your phone, you may want to just go ahead and mute your phone.
Yeah, that's probably a good call on that one, because he's going to like say the keyword and stuff. So unless you want your Google Assistant to also call and make you a reservation at, I don't know, whatever restaurant you pitch on.
I think I'm going to do... Oh, evidently Rocket Gaming Glove. Oh, sorry, my brother hates his channel.
I mean, okay, that's fine.
Sorry.
Thanks for stopping by. Have a good day.
There you go. Have a good day.
Anyway.
Okay. All right.
So let's see what happens, man.
Wait, you know what? I'm going to evoke the assistant without the
Oh, that's good.
keyword.
Yeah, squeeze.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at you looking out for our viewers. I
am
appreciate
looking
you.
out. Okay, so I'm going to go. I'm going to pull up. I have it. I have the restaurant. And now here we go. Live on air.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, crap.
There's like
Stop
30
talking.
people
Stop
sitting
talking.
here watching. You struggle.
Literally, stop talking. It's picking up the words out of your mouth. I didn't touch it. I wanted to see if you were going to do anything, you jerk.
I could see you not touching. That's why I didn't say anything. Go ahead.
Book a table for 4 at Mitchell's Steakhouse tomorrow night.
And now, we play the waiting game.
Alright, let's make a reservation for 4 people at Mitchell's Steakhouse. At what time?
7 p.m.
Alright, for 7 p.m. tomorrow. Should I book it?
Yes?
Sounds good. To complete your reservation, I need to share your contact details with OpenTable.
Okay, it's going to give my personal information.
That I think qualifies as a failure.
Does it?
It didn't. Okay, there was no phone call placed. It was just.
I didn't give it a chance, though. It needed to validate my phone number and email address.
Okay.
But so I did it.
And you don't feel like you can trust all the people on the internet?
No, I don't feel like I can trust the people on the internet.
I don't understand why. Like, I feel like all these people are very. Look,
do you have a pair of headphones?
Would any?
Do you have a dongle? Somebody have a dongle?
Yes, I do. Matter of fact, I do. There's one over there on that disaster of a desk. Hang on, let me go grab it.
Well, I was going to say, get Stats to do it.
Well, he's not going to know where it's at.
I was going to, I think it might work.
What do you need? Headphones?
I just need a pair of headphones. Any crappy ones would be fine.
I should make you wear these.
I don't care. Give them to me.
You know it. All right. All right. I'll give you my Britney Spears headset. Here you go.
Preston,
Let's see
was
what
it
happens.
duplex or going through open table?
So that's the problem. So far,
Yeah,
it
I don't
seems like
know.
this was going through open table, which is significantly less impressive. Because at that point, you're talking about like API calls and stuff. You're talking about like, let me go talk to this web page and whatever. I mean, that's not magical. I want the AI. I want the robot that's going to talk to the people and convince them that you have a personal assistant that's making this call.
So
for you.
I have open table on my phone.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do...
I don't understand what the headphones are going to do for you. Oh, it's going to repeat it back to you?
It's going to repeat it back to me.
No.
I don't have...
I still feel like you
hang
can
on.
trust all the internet
I don't
people.
have open table installed on my phone.
Look, even the Everyday Dad says we are super trustworthy. Also, Mr. Savage Life, hey man, I appreciate you. You too could grow a glorious beard. I have faith in you.
Okay, here we go.
What was that company that sent you all those products for your beard?
Oh please, I pimp them at every possible chance I can get. I'm absolutely in love with Can You Handlebar? CanYouHandlebar.com. They are absolutely fantastic. I love all the products, the scents that they have. Do you not know how to operate headphones? Like, is this the first time for you?
I thought you were the headphone guy.
Apparently not. Apparently that's just clever editing. Hey, I'm not the one that can't figure out how to put... Hey!
Book a table for 4 people at Mitchell's Steakhouse tomorrow night.
Wait for it. I'm not allowed to
8 p.m.
talk at all? This is exactly what I thought was going to happen. When we try and do this live,
Yeah, I know.
it becomes very difficult because you can't hear what's happening now. So right now, the Google Assistant is trying to verify all of his details because he doesn't want to put that stuff on the internet.
Yeah, okay.
Which I think is a
I could have
cop-out
stopped
answer.
that, I guess. Would you like me to save that answer so you can skip it next time?
Yes. Yes, I would. Everyday Dad says, trust us. I certainly wouldn't book my own restaurant.
Okay, so here's the deal. I actually think I can do this live because I think I can skip the step.
Okay.
So
You're going to do it again now.
I'm going to do it again. I think I can do this live to where you guys won't hear my phone number and email address. I think.
or someone's going to know what area code you live in. Boy, I wonder how many tables you're going to have reserved for yourself tomorrow night.
Right now, nothing's confirmed. But I'm going to tell you, I may not be able to eat at a restaurant downtown anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Book a table for 4 people at Mitchell's Steakhouse tomorrow night. Ah, crap, I messed it up. Book a table for 4 people tomorrow night at Mitchell's Steakhouse.
Speaking is hard. He had this problem last week, too.
Alright, let's make a reservation for 4 people at Mitchell's Steakhouse. At what time?
8 p.m.
Got it, for 8 p.m. tomorrow.
Yes, I want to book it.
Alright, should I book?
And not doing a thing.
Alright, since this is your first reservation, I need to inform you that by completing this reservation, you agree to the reserve with...
Like, and what our terms and conditions, nobody reads them
Sounds
anymore.
good. I booked a table at Mitchell's Steakhouse for 4 at 8 p.m. tomorrow using OpenTable.
That's the difference.
Look for an email confirmation with the details.
Now,
So,
Preston makes a good point.
I did see on Duplex's Google page that businesses have to enable it through Google My Business. That might impact this 100%. And also, Cindy points out you need to pick a restaurant that doesn't use OpenTable for sure.
yeah, okay.
So not something that we knew going into this. We
Yeah, I did
specifically
not
tried
know
to
that.
do this as live gets.
Yes.
So now I'm interested if we can find a table.
I'm going to try
Sorry.
one right down the street.
A restaurant that is not using OpenTable but is listed on, or it maybe does not have it. I wonder if that's listed on Google My Business.
If
Yes, you can
it
figure
actually
out that
is.
it's
Yeah, so like on Google
duplex
Maps,
friendly or whatever.
if you go to Google Maps,
Yeah.
you can actually see like Mitchell's where I picked.
Yeah.
It has go there open table.
Ah,
Okay, so now I'm going to
gotcha.
pick one. Hang on. I don't know if this place even takes like reservations. What do I say? Book a table? Book a table for 4 at the place.
Yes.
Book a table for 4 at Tip Top Kitchen and Cocktails tomorrow night.
I've been to Tip Top before. I like that place.
While I can't make reservations at that particular restaurant, here's their phone number. 614-22...
Okay. So that one doesn't have it enabled. So my question is,
Yeah.
how are we supposed to know which ones are enabled?
So
Like, how would I know that?
I agree with you.
Also, remind me I need to cancel a reservation. Because it absolutely worked.
Listen, I also think it's very interesting though that the initial demo that Sundar Pichai did at, was it the Made by Google? No, it was Google I/O a couple years back, 2 years ago.
I can tell you right now that I just had to cancel. Like, it absolutely flawlessly worked. Open.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it absolutely did.
Via OpenTable.
Yes.
But, so I feel like the difference between the demo that was done live on the stage with Google I/O and what we are experiencing now, I think is in large part due to how many people were freaked out, rightfully so, about how creepy this technology is, because it really did basically flawlessly imitate a human being down to patterns of speech like ums and uhs, things that are like very human tendencies during speech while you're thinking or processing information, and replicated that in real time to the customer while answering questions and effectively making decisions for you that would kind of get you more or less what you want. Like if you said, I want a table for 4, I don't know, somewhere between like 4 and 6 p.m., it would negotiate the time with whoever picked up the phone. That's impressive and creepy. And I have a feeling that what we are eventually going to see is not nearly that powerful just because of that creepiness factor.
I'm trying to figure out like where could I go and use this, because I truly don't know.
Yeah, and so by the time it comes to us and we can use it, if OpenTable already fits that, and
it just did it for me using OpenTable.
Using OpenTable only, not using Google Duplex, and
yeah. And
other
I wasn't
than that,
even logged into OpenTable. I don't even have the app on my phone.
And if you have to opt in to use it, it makes me wonder what the ultimate lifespan is. This is going to end up being another canceled Google project.
Please don't do that.
I'm not wrong. Google has a
don't
track
do
record
that.
of even cool stuff, even stuff that people use. If it if it doesn't get huge, if it doesn't like make them a boatload of money, they don't use it. And if it's not enabled, if it's not being used everywhere, if I can't just pick up the phone and use that to interact with, which was the original promise, that you could basically use this to interact with any business that you didn't have the time to pick up the phone and call, it's going to see limited deployment, it's gonna see limited use, and it's gonna get canceled. Watch it happen.
I'm trying, like, I'm on their site trying to figure out, like who are the partners they have. Table Check, SeatGeek. So, okay, Table Check.
Yeah.
All right, got it. 2 people, 7 p.m., current location. Where can I find it?
Mm-hmm.
It's all not U.S.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like, when I clicked on that last one, Table Check, not U.S.
Can you...
It says Yelp, though. Yelp's a big one. That's a big one.
That's kind of a big one. Can you book us a table at Rendezvous? Right?
I don't know. I mean, you want me to try?
Well, look them up on the map. See if
they don't take reservations.
No, there you go.
What do you mean they don't take reservations?
He didn't stutter.
What kind of shenanery is this?
That's a successful restaurant.
Look, you all know I love Rendezvous. Like, I don't know.
You don't take reservations. You got a successful restaurant.
They won't even seat a partial party.
Yeah. Unless you have them all there. Nah. But if you want the best ribs you will ever have, as long as you like dry rub ribs, the best ever. That mustard coleslaw, I could eat that by the 55-gallon drum full.
I'm gonna try it,
which is disgusting.
Okay, so I have
coleslaw.
I have a list of places here that are on Yelp.
Yeah.
So I went to this list of places on Yelp through Google's site.
Okay.
So it's a partner.
Okay.
I have no idea if they're on Open Pages. Open Pages?
Open Table. That one. Yeah.
You know where my head's at then.
I got you. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Oh my god. I can't believe I did that.
Having a stroke.
Did.
Yeah.
Not really, though.
Maybe. I don't know. We don't know. Watch last week's
Book
show.
a table for 4 at the Sycamore tomorrow night.
Last week was a lot of fun because Scott forgot how to speech. It was
okay.
hilarious.
I'll call to make a reservation for 4 people at the Sycamore. At what time?
7 p.m.
Sure, for 7 p.m. tomorrow. Just in case that's not available, can I try between 7 p.m. and 8 p.m.?
No, I'm going to say 6:30 to 7:30.
Sure, for 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m.
Yep. That had my phone number in it.
As soon as you confirm, I'll call the restaurant and book it under Scott with the phone number.
There's a number there. So stupid. We're so prepared. We're so prepared.
Confirm.
God, that's hilarious.
Got it. I'll try calling them now and update you within the next 15 minutes.
Okay,
You can always ask me about your reservations to check the status.
Okay.
That's cool.
That worked.
That actually worked. So it is now in the background. It is placing a call to this restaurant and negotiating. Now, I wish we could hear the audio transcript of what's happening.
So what's happening on my phone right now, there is a notification on my phone from the Google Assistant that says, I'll call the business now, the Sycamore, for tomorrow either at 7 p.m. or between 6:30 and 7:30, and I have the option of canceling the reservation right here.
That's
on my phone. So I'm going to keep it right there. That's happening
in the background.
In the background, right now.
And so when it's done, it'll just show up on your calendars.
So when it's done, what's supposed to happen is once your reservation is successfully made, you'll get a notification on your phone, an email update, and a calendar invite so you don't forget. So right now, it is calling the business. So the Google Assistant is calling the business. Much to your point, I wish I could hear what that sounds like.
Only because I'm so massively interested in...
I just want to know if that works.
Well, agreed. I mean, at this point, I have a good feeling that it's going to work, but I'm interested in, because businesses have to opt in, and I'm pretty sure there's like an identification phase. Like if the Google Assistant calls to make these reservations, it's going to say like, "Hi, I'm the Google Assistant. I'm calling on behalf of blah 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 blah, and here's what I'd like to do."
Yeah.
But I'm still interested in like how well does that interaction go? Like if you're primed as a human being, if you're primed and you already know that this is a computer calling you. You know what I mean?
I can't believe we're both like, blah, blah,
blah. Or you're about to get a boatload of spam calls. I don't know. Either one.
I'm genuinely shocked if this is gonna work.
Yeah, I want you to know that bit is making it into the final edit of this.
I bet you won't.
Please.
I bet you won't.
Don't even.
I bet you won't. I bet you won't.
Yeah.
The idea is, I can't believe this is. I think this is gonna work.
Are you actually going to go to the Sycamore and eat?
No, I'm not gonna go. I just wanted to see if it was gonna work.
Oh,
No, I mean, unless they want to sponsor the channel, but if that's the case, welcome to Technically Speaking, sponsored currently by the Sycamore. And if you want to know how to actually book the Sycamore using your Google Assistant, just give your Google Assistant, or give your Google Pixel 3 a squeeze on the side and say you want to book a room, or a hotel, or whatever, with the Sycamore.
Great commercial. He's
It's actually
Professional.
fun. It's a great restaurant.
professional right here. Wow.
We had a plan, so Greg and I talked before the show that said, like, if this, we did not think it was going to work. We thought
Full
what
disclosure,
happened
yeah.
was what thing that was going to happen.
Yeah.
So long story short, you have to do a bit of research as an end user to know what you can and cannot do. But to the point of, okay, it's on Yelp, hang on a second.
Yeah.
Yelp is huge.
Yeah.
Massively large. However, I
Right
think
or
there's
wrong, yeah.
there's a nuance to it. Like, if they're on, I guess from the end user perspective, if I squeeze my phone or tell the Google Assistant to book, I almost keep saying hotel, that's not what I want to do.
No.
I want to book a table at this place
You
for
do what
this
you wanna
time.
do. If you want to book a hotel, I mean, I'm not going to
I want to book, I almost did it again. I want to book a table for this particular place.
hotel, not table.
Whatever. Shut up, Greg. If it uses open pages or if it uses, oh my God, I did it again. What is wrong with me? If it uses open table or it uses the Google Assistant where it goes and calls for you, as an end user, who cares?
Yeah.
You got your reservation.
Yeah.
Whether it's, again, through open table, that's fine. I just think it's way cooler that I'm making another human being talk to a very, very much AI.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm genuinely shocked if this is going
stunned.
to work.
So they said that it's going to take about 15 minutes, so we can talk about something else, and then stay
Magic
tuned.
of edits.
Yeah, via the magic of post-production, we will tell you right now if it worked. And see, this is where I would do like the cut, and then you would see like, we come back on screen and tell you that it worked. And,
Magic.
and whatever. Anyway, so what other stories we got? Oh, hey, real quick, before we get too much further, Michael Daniels, I have to say thank you, sir, for your support. We always love and appreciate you so much. And one of these days, I'm going to talk this guy into coming onto your game show.
Why?
Because you are the problem. That's why everyone is Team Greg. Let's be real. That's exactly why. Also, Andrew Hatchett says this is the best segment of any show that we have done. I actually agree with you.
Thank you.
I think this was probably the most fun I've had doing a live show.
Which part was the single funniest part where we had to like
look, I was screaming la 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 la.
I really appreciate you taking my privacy like serious.
Look, because if the roles were reversed, I would throw my phone. I would break that.
I would have done the same for you.
Yeah, I'd
like snap and clap my hands together like just to get the it was.
I take privacy seriously. Well, I mean, mostly seriously, pretty seriously.
I think it's really, really interesting. I'm really glad that we actually got that to work, or it's doing something. I can tell you that right now. Like I don't know
we'll see
what
if
it's
it
gonna
actually.
do,
I'm interested to see what I was able to finally negotiate, or if it comes back and they're like, whatever, all the tables are booked up, you can't do it. Okay, fine. But I mean, at this point, I feel like this is a successful experiment.
I would agree. And I think the idea is that we can now tell consumers that you have even more options to book a actual table with Google. You can either just tell it to do something and it will put it in open pages.
Yeah.
Open table, for the love of Christ. For all that is holy, what is happening to me, I blame Greg.
It's probably my fault.
This house is haunted.
Yeah.
It's haunted by Susan.
Francis,
that too. Whoever.
Jokes that nobody on the internet gets.
No, but you know what?
My wife,
for Susan.
My wife is firmly convinced that we not only have a ghost, but said ghost has followed us through 3 different moves, and our ghost is a female, but she's friendly, so we call her Francis. The friendly ghost. That's a real story. It's not a good story, but it's a real story.
It's a real story.
It's a real story.
Again, going back to my point, as an end user and a consumer, the idea that I can just tell it to book me a table, and it uses either its own service to call, assuming that they're opted in, or they book it through Open Table.
Yeah.
Or like that one that you saw was, hey, I can't help you. Here's the phone number.
Yeah, for sure.
Even that's helpful.
No, I agree. I definitely agree with that.
So as an end user experience, it's just a great experience. I love that. It was stupidly easy. I don't make a lot of reservations though.
I mean, I don't know.
I just don't.
To be fair,
like,
yeah.
But
I don't even
but
make
the idea-
reservations for my haircuts. I just I show up.
Right, but the point is like if they can do it for restaurants,
Yeah.
they can probably easily do it for hotels because evidently I've been trying to do that for the last 20 minutes. They'll probably be able to do it for haircuts.
Yeah. What about like car rentals?
Right, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's probably
Like, sky's the limit at that point, pretty much.
if you oh man, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Michael, what did we say? We actually said book a table for 4 at insert the restaurant name tomorrow night. And then it proceeded to go through a prompt to say what time. I said 7, and they've said if that's not available, you want 7 to 8. I said 6:30 to 7.
30.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, I'm gonna call them.
And then it
And do
tried
a thing.
to divulge all of Scott's
Personal information.
Personal information. So then we had to scream like children so that nobody else could hear. I mean, presumably, I can't wait to go back and listen to the audio on this to just see if you can hear in the background very clearly it's spitting out your number and
If
here
that's
comes
the
spam
case,
calls.
if that's the case, we're gonna be deleting that show.
Too late. Once it's on the internet,
The internet never forgets.
the internet never forgets.
Never forgets. So we're 8 minutes deep now.
All right.
In terms of calling the business.
So let's catch up on this in a little bit. Let's move on to something
Okay.
else. We'll catch up to that. You want to? What else do you want to talk about? You want to talk about dumb things that Google's doing? Like this is pretty cool. You talk about dumb things. You want to talk about?
You say that's dumb. I don't think it's that dumb.
Really?
I don't. I think it's okay. Hang on. Context.
Okay.
I think it's really dumb for any company to do it. It makes sense that Google's doing it. We should probably tell them what we're talking about.
I agree on both accounts. So Google wants to basically get rid of having a physical driver's license. They want to digitize your driver's license. Now, obviously, this is not a product that is anything that you can like go out and subscribe to or anything like right now. But this is where like it's the Ian Malcolm from Jurassic Park. It's the like you were too busy trying to figure out whether or not you could. You didn't stop to think about whether or not you should. Yes, you could digitize a driver's license so that you never had to carry a physical driver's license around. They basically have a similar concept when it comes to credit cards or debit cards in the Google Pay application on your phone, and it does work.
Huh?
But I feel like there's a certain point in time where you attach so much personally identifiable information, PII, as it were. I don't know if you're familiar with this term.
No.
PII, okay. So, yeah.
It goes right through my fin.
It does.
Right through the fin.
Right around the Pro Hawk. So you attach so much PII to your own personal account that if your account is ever compromised, these people have access to credit card information and driver's license information and all sorts of stuff.
I got it back. Can't make your reservation. However, the Sycamore does have openings at 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. Now remember, I specifically said
6:30 and 7:30.
6:30 and 7:30.
Yeah.
So I'm going back to see like what happens? Like can I give it another option? According to this, it cannot book it. I mean, I guess I could try. You want me to do it again? And just say 8 p.m. just to see what happens? Or would you call this successful?
I mean, at this point, I would call it successful. Does it give you the option, like, do you want me to try for this time? Or at this point, is the transaction complete?
It says, I wasn't able to make a reservation for you. The restaurant doesn't have any openings on the time that you specified. However, they do have openings at 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. Now how did they get that?
Yeah, if they got
They
that
asked.
from a human,
You see what I mean? Like, how did they get
Yeah.
that? If you got however, they do have openings at 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. Because that place is not on Open Table.
Right.
So, and it's not available online that I was able to find. So how did they know that?
Now this is where I wish we could listen into the conversation to see, did did the assistant ask like, hey, you know, okay, you can't book me a table between these 2 times. You know, what other times do you have open? Like, was it a question, or do they just...
I've heard what some of them sound like.
Yeah.
And if it sounds anything like, what we should do is we should find a friend that works at the restaurant and say, I'm going to do this, and you're going to answer this call. And then listen to that.
How big do you think our reach is?
Evidently
do you
not.
know anybody who works at that restaurant?
No, I don't know.
Do you know anybody who works at any of the restaurants
Yes.
that we've called so far?
No, that did, yes. Not anymore, though. So no. So no. What if we just go there and say, look, I'm going to do a thing.
Yeah.
Can I just listen when that thing calls you?
We'll make it a video sponsored by your restaurant, and
yeah, I'm totally sure that'll go absolutely go.
Sure, I'm
ham
sure
for
that means something to you.
I'll be honest, I kind of want to like see what happens if I did it again. We'll do it later.
Okay.
Unless you want me to do it.
No, again, at this point, I feel like it's successful. Like, we used Google Duplex, we called, we attempted to make a booking, and there was enough context provided to where you got an answer back that says, hey man, we couldn't do it, and it gave you more information
Options.
in response.
Yeah.
You
had to get that from a human. You had to.
Yeah.
So like if I go to their website, like can I go to their website and book online right now? That's what I'm going to check. So while as I'm doing this, it just uses Yelp. It looks like it just pushes it through Yelp.
Interesting. Very interesting.
It's so weird how that works out. It's so strange.
I'm obsessed now. I got to try and find somebody who works in a restaurant someplace that is hooked up to this whole service, that we could somehow get the human side, like record the human side of this transaction, because I'm super interested in what it sounds like.
So here's what's interesting. I went to the Sycamore on Yelp, went to their website.
Yeah.
And then they have a reservation tab. Hit reservation, find a table, takes me back to Yelp. And then at Yelp it says make a reservation. So here we go.
Yeah.
Reservation between.
Ooh, that would be interesting. Okay. What if they're a bunch of lying?
7:34 people find a table. Nope. But here's what they did say. Here's the available times: 5 and 8 p.m.
Okay.
The exact thing I got in the email.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now that is creepy and awesome. Oh, they have one for Ticketmaster. You can evidently book things through Ticketmaster. I'm telling you, I would say that's a success.
I think it's a success.
That is dope.
I'm a little disappointed that we couldn't actually get the, like, hey, yeah, we did it, done. But, I mean, that was a successful use of Duplex. It's not Duplex's fault that the tables were full.
Yeah.
But I'm impressed that it worked. I'm genuinely surprised.
Yeah, I really like that. I'm actually going to pull up Yelp
and
see other places that I can go bother.
For later.
Well, yeah, not right now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it right now. But I do think that would be a very interesting clip for us to pull together and be like, hey, this absolutely worked. Like, so here's the outro to that. Like, if you want to actually test it and see that the Google Assistant works, squeeze your phone and give it a shot. Start at Yelp. Look there, and then go try it for yourself, because I did it live on air, and it worked.
Surprisingly.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
No, that's the outro right there. Nice.
We just recorded a video inside of a video. It's videos all the way down. Done.
Videoception.
Videoception. All right, so Google wants to digitize your license, and you...
I think it's a fine idea.
Why?
Why? Tell me why. Why?
Why?
So, if I physically, we all know that when I use Google Wallet or Apple Pay or whatever like device-based payment system, when you put your credit card in and you tap the pay thing, whether that's Best Buy or a vending machine or whatever, it is a one-time burn card. Like, it's not the actual credit card.
Right.
So it's a burn it and then it's gone. So it's mostly secure. Now, if you lose your phone, you're kind of boned. But,
yes.
Okay, so take the lose your phone, you're kind of boned part out of it.
Sort of rhymes, which is kind of fun. But
right.
Yeah.
So what's more likely, that's a bad question, because if you're in a really, am I more likely to drop my wallet or drop my phone? Like, I say I go out and just get tie one on a Friday or Saturday. The problem is I was gonna like use like, well, my sister-in-law, blah blah blah. She
Yeah.
uses her phone all the time,
Yeah.
so that doesn't help.
That's a terrible example.
That's an awful example.
Yeah.
But nowadays, I would much rather lose my wallet than my phone. Hands down. Hands down, I would much rather lose my wallet than my phone.
Okay, I can understand that. However, I feel like the idea of doing a digital driver's license is it's unnecessary. It's completely unnecessary. Like, what's the value proposition for me as a customer? For Google, hey, got it. You get more personal information about that person. So it makes it easier to do things like targeted ads. It makes it easier to do things like image recognition. It also probably positions them to do other interesting things with, creating services where you could use your driver's license for something. Maybe it's like registering for voting or something along those lines. Like, I'm sure that there's ways that they could use that information in an impactful way. But what's the value proposition for me as the consumer? I digitize my license. Does that mean when I get pulled over, I can just show the cop my phone? Let me tell you, that's a bad idea.
Yeah,
Like,
so I definitely don't want to do that.
And so that becomes the problem. Like, even if you, again, the argument of like, well, I have nothing to hide, that applies to a limit. But at the end of the day, you're handing over your property, and as soon as you do so, a cop basically has the right to, you've handed it to them. You've unlocked it and said, here's my license, and they take that back to their cruiser to do their thing. They have the right to be able to go through your stuff.
Yeah, because by law right now, you don't have to unlock your phone.
Okay.
I don't think you have to.
If it's face unlock, you don't have to. If it's I can't remember where they stand on fingerprint, but if it's a PIN number and you are basically court ordered to do so, that is a thing that you know, and you have to divulge that.
Yes, but I'm talking about like standard traffic.
Sure, yeah.
Like a standard traffic stop.
That I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know.
I don't think you do. You do not. I don't think so. You had to. Like, I think you just, you have to at a court order. Roger, got it. But if you're like, unlock my phone, I don't have to unlock my phone.
But there's even the legal precedent with like the facial recognition stuff when it comes to the biometric stuff. They draw a distinction between if it's a thing that you know, like you can be coerced or ordered to divulge like a password or a PIN number, but not something that's like, oh, I shine this at your face and then you have to look at this camera so that it'll unlock, because it's like using your likeness to unlock your phone. There's something weird involving that, and there is a line that has been drawn between the thing that you know and the thing that you are, as far as how that security thing breaks down.
So let me ask this. Okay, so they're
Exigent
going to use it
circumstances.
for
Yep.
they're going to use it for hardware like the Titan M key.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're using it to protect your phone. That's what they say.
But again,
look, even if your phone is stolen, to secure the data so it's less likely to be hacked or stolen.
But again, there are ways of doing security. Many ways of doing security. Matter of fact, I've never had to do any security that involves specifically your license. That's where I just don't understand the value proposition behind this. Like, why the driver's license?
It's the physical wallet, so you wouldn't have to carry a physical wallet. That's what they're so that's what I'm looking at it. It's saying it will be a physical wallet, could be a thing of the past. So the sales pitch to an end user is, you don't need your wallet anymore. You can just carry your phone. That's what they're saying. But so for someone like me, even that doesn't work, because I carry a physical security key for my Google account.
Yes.
In my pocket every day. That way, if my account is ever compromised, like say somebody takes it and they want to try to log in somewhere from like Luxembourg or whatever, they physically have to have the key in my pocket. Maybe I'm like the crypto guy.
If you mysteriously die someday,
it's not going to be mysterious. The world will weep. They'll have smoke come out.
Oh, yeah, white smoke.
White smoke like the Pope.
A new Scott has been chosen.
Little wispies?
Like little wispies.
Boy, that's a shout out to an old video right there. Wow. The idea of doing the digital wallet, like on paper, that sounds really cool. But the practicality of it in basically the way that current law and everything else lays out, like, I'm not handing a cop my phone to see my license.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What about a passport?
What about it? I wouldn't put my passport information in
What if you could get in and out of an airplane faster through TSA faster by having your passport digitized to where they can just come up and go, "You're Greg. I know you're good." Would you do it?
So first of all, I have a passport.
I'm just asking.
No.
Okay.
I mean, like
I'm just trying to look what the line is.
The argument, the only argument that might possibly sway me even a little bit is, hey, if you did this thing, you could bypass the TSA entirely. That might sway me because
That'll never happen.
I have made no secret about how much I loathe the TSA and everything that they represent.
I am equally in my loathsomeness of the TSA.
Not a fan.
No.
The people, different story. Look, y'all doing your job, I appreciate you. But the concept, the idea that it represents, what they are doing, I fundamentally disagree with. So, yeah, if you told me that I could do a thing and then bypass the TSA entirely, you might be able to talk me into it. I don't know. I would have to think long and hard about that one. Because, again, that even if that is the value proposition, you do this thing, you get to bypass the TSA entirely. My next thought is like, oh, that's interesting. You're not backing down on the security requirement whatsoever. Like, the government's not just going to go like, oh, okay, if you do this thing, we no longer have to care. They're still getting that information. And in fact, it's probably, if they're trying to encourage you to do that, it's probably because it makes it easier for them to gather whatever bits of information. And why should I make that job any easier for them? Like, it's already pretty easy. Why should I make it any easier?
The convenience isn't worth the loss of a little bit of security I have left.
Boom. Boom, sir. I completely agree with Mr. Cameron Corey.
The credit card one, yeah.
Credit card one
I don't care about that at all.
That's really close to the line, in my opinion, because there's still information about you embedded in the MSR, the magnetic stripe, on the back of your credit card. There is information embedded.
There has to be.
There for sure is.
Yeah,
I've worked with that technology. So, that information enough is like really close to the line as far as like, would I put this in my phone? And then you have to believe that if you're putting it in your phone, you're also giving a company like Google at least some access to it. They may not be able to read everything, but they're at least getting some access.
The majority of the stuff that Google would be reading off your credit card, you've probably already given them.
Sure. So that's a case where I'm okay with that. The problem that I have with the driver's license is that the driver's license is, because it's one of those things that you have to provide to prove like identification. It's like a linchpin. It's a thing that ties together several bits of like, here's my credit card and here's me as a person and my address, and that ties together a lot of disparate bits of information. So to have that digitized in one place, again, if it's ever compromised, that's bad. That's real bad. I mean,
it's not the worst though.
It's not the worst. Agree.
Your social is far and away the worst.
No doubt.
Yeah. So I get the driver's license thing, since they don't have socials on driver's license anymore, which by the way they used to. It was a terrible idea. It was super convenient when you needed to use it though.
Yeah.
That part was convenient, but having socials on your driver's license is a terrible idea.
Have you seen the new ones?
No.
I haven't.
Did they have your social on it?
No.
I was gonna say that's a terrible idea too.
So I used to have my social on like really, really old driver's license, and
So
I believe the last time that, not this time, but the previous time that I got my driver's license renewed, that they remove it. Like, you are not allowed to have that on there anymore.
Yeah.
Which I think is a good call.
I agree with that. So the problem is you get in when you start linking things to get back to a person.
Well,
therein lies the rub.
But that's fundamentally what this is doing.
I agree. It's getting there, but a lot of the time people are already doing that to themselves, and they don't even need a driver's license to do that. For example, my email address.
Yeah. No doubt.
That's a problem. So one other piece of information with a already available public entity, and I'm totally boned.
Well, but that makes me question why you think this is even at all a remotely good idea.
I didn't say it was a good idea. I'm just saying, like, I'm kind of already compromising myself by the choices I've already made.
Right. So to do the digital driver's license and attach it to your Google account, which is also your email.
Yeah, I get it. I didn't say it was a good idea.
For sure. I get.
But there's only one piece of information on that I would be concerned with.
Oh, of course.
Just the one.
Yeah. Which I agree with too.
Yeah, that's the only one I'm worried about. Now, if you told me that you could somehow anonymize or obfuscate or like tokenize that thing.
Like an address, I'm assuming.
No, I don't care about the address. Driver's license number, hands down, is way worse.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Like if the address, not great, but definitely way more better than the other one. There's reasons behind that, like auditor websites, stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
The other one is a significantly bigger
Okay.
problem because that is very much one.
Yeah. That's
Yep.
interesting because I don't really have much of a concept of what the driver's license number is used for,
Uh-huh.
other than like, yeah, this is my thing.
No,
I didn't
that's-
realize it was like that sensitive.
Oh, it's very.
Huh.
Yeah. So if you obfuscate or tokenize that one,
Yeah.
that's if they said I'll take a digital scan, I don't want that.
Yeah.
Like I don't want that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna obfuscate that and encrypt it. And I'm never gonna see it. Way different conversation
Yeah.
for me.
Huh.
That-
Interesting.
yeah, that's the one that one I have a problem with. All the other stuff I have no problem with. None.
See, that's so funny because mine is like, it's again, it's not that I have anything to hide, but I think there's a difference between the practicality of not wanting to broadcast it and then, you know, like the criminal intent side of like, oh, I've got stuff to hide. I don't want people coming around. I feel like there's a huge difference in between those things, and I definitely sit in the camp of like, there's a practical concern to just saying, yeah, sure, whatever. I'm going to broadcast all my information. Nobody cares. Like, that's
I don't want to
crazy.
broadcast the information because you just make it easy.
But that's what I feel like this is one step shy of doing that. By digitizing all that stuff, and basically, we've had this conversation when it comes to Facebook, and them, as soon as you say, yes, sure, you have access to my profile, you've broadcast that information. Even if it's a pull from their perspective, even if it's a, like, I'm uploading a thing, you're still... fundamentally, you're sending information outside of your control. Once it's there, you no longer have control over it. You don't know how it's being used. You don't know what the ramifications are of that.
Yet. So California,
Yeah.
the consumer law is
Yep.
going to be able to tell us, it's going to come to the U.S. anyway, so let's just work under the guise of that the U.S. adopts this whole California
You're
thing.
talking about the EU law.
The GDPR.
The GDPR.
The General Data Privacy Right.
That has a version of that.
In
that
California.
What is it?
CPA?
CPA?
CCPA, the California Consumer Protection Act.
There you
Privacy
go.
Act.
So there's a version of that has made its way to the U.S., which, you know, we don't discuss politics on here usually, but I think that is a net good thing,
I think
especially for the consumer.
I think it's a great thing.
Huge
It's
benefit
a
to us.
awesome benefit
Yeah.
that I really like
Yeah.
a lot. For a bunch of reasons. For a bunch of reasons.
It's been good to you.
It has. So the big thing is when they collect that information, so let's assume Google wants to collect all of the information on your driver's license, including an actual scan of your driver's license. If you lived in California, let's
Yeah.
just assume for a second, you
Yeah.
go,
Hypothetical.
Dear Google,
Yeah.
why do you have that?
Yeah.
Who do you share it with? What do they do with it? By the way, you have to delete it. They have to tell you all those things.
Sure.
Otherwise, they're fined. And you get money.
And that works if you're in California.
Yes. For now.
So I don't know if you know this or not.
We live in Ohio.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
But there are
step
already-
outside.
there are already-
it ain't California.
There are already conversations at a federal level
Yeah.
about something very similar.
Interesting.
And in many, many other states. Like, more than a handful.
I think that's good. You want to talk?
43?
Not
yeah.
quite Google Duplex good.
Yeah. You want to talk about something else happening at the federal level that is also very interesting?
Let me
How
go
about that
through the
for
show notes.
How about that for a transition?
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about this one,
Okay.
so go for it.
So, oh no, not that one.
Which one are you
The
talking
one
about?
below it.
The don't do this on April 6th?
No, the one below that.
Oh,
said
yes.
below.
You want to end on that one? Because that's
Perfect.
glorious.
Yeah. So, every year, twice a year, Americans, for some reason, we just decide that
Hate ourselves.
We hate ourselves and we hate our sleep schedule, and it just seems like a really good idea that we should screw with our clocks twice a year. And It's the dumbest. It's the dumbest thing ever. There have been multiple studies that have shown how wasteful it is. America alone, it impacts our economy by some absurd number, like $1 billion, several hundred millions at the very least. It's an insane expense or an insane drag on the economy just to change clocks. It's also been proven that it has negative impact on your personal, emotional, mental health just because of the lack of sleep and everything else.
It's god awful.
It's terrible. It's a terrible idea, and I think we should do something about it, Scott.
What did you do, Greg?
I did nothing. However, I did read a story about how at the national level they have introduced a bill where they were trying to make daylight savings time permanent.
Thank God. They're calling it the Sunshine Protection Act.
So first of all, I love politicians and their ability to make just, like, you take a bill and you distill out what the bill is about, and then you give it some other stupid name that is tangentially related to the bill, and then you go, here's the marketing behind our bill. The Sunshine Protection Act.
Mm-hmm.
I get what they're going for. Like, I get the kind of the joke or whatever, the meaning behind it. They're making the day longer, because why not?
Just say abolishing stupidity.
I'm with you. Look, while we're talking about stupidity, why don't, like, it's 2019. Why don't we have a better calendar than we do? Why do we have months of varying days? Why don't we just say, hey, February, you're kind of the short guy out here. Let's take some days off of some of these other months and add another, handful of days on so that everything is equal. There's a bunch of people who have done a bunch of research on how to improve the calendar so that every month is equal number of days.
Well, okay, so
and
first
the
of all,
holidays fall on the exact same day
Boom!
of the week.
Every year.
Okay,
Every year.
Okay, I agree with that. But however,
We are, look, it's
Oh, God.
2019.
Oh, God.
We're Americans. We have scientists. We put men on the moon. We can do this. We can
Okay, so
fix
first of all,
the calendar.
I haven't been to the moon. Oh, haven't been there, so quit making stuff up.
Whatever. Don't even get me started.
And also, February is already, it feels like the longest month of the year. Can we not add days to February? Give me more March and less February. February is the longest month ever. It's the doldrums of just...
That's because we live in Ohio and it's gray.
Yeah.
It is the
If
color.
we lived in, like, Phoenix,
Yeah.
it would be perfect, and I would want more February.
Okay.
And less 118 degrees.
So you would want your July to be shorter.
I want shorter July and more February.
It doesn't.
I need
it
you
doesn't
to.
work
I
that
want you
way.
to change not only the time, but also the climate.
Let's do that. While we're at it, I mean, if we're talking about things that are unrealistic, which let's be real, I have zero confidence that this daylight savings time thing is ever going to pass.
Studies have shown many benefits of year-round daylight saving time, which is why Florida's legislation. Look, Florida doesn't do a lot of right, but they did get this right. Florida legislature overwhelmingly voted to make it permanent last year.
Look, surprise me. I would love to see something like this happen, but we can't. We don't do the metric system.
True story. I can't do the metric system.
You don't have a practical reason to do it. You
I don't
at all. Which I get. I mean, if
I want to, because I hear it's awesome.
But that's the thing. If the law were passed, it becomes a catch-22. If the law were passed and they said, yeah, this imperial nonsense is out, metric system is in, you would pick it up remarkably fast.
I'm sure I would.
Where we would have problems is like speed limits. 50 kilometers an hour is not
like 47.
It's super slow.
Yeah, it's some. I don't really know. To get how much you have to cut 5 days, and then you'd have a year of 73 weeks with no months. Wait, what? Is that true? The witchcraft math that you just did, I don't even know.
I'm telling you, there are a bunch of mathematicians, researchers, scientists that have all proposed different systems for balancing out how you could basically make the calendar sane. And I feel like if we're going to talk about things that should be on the table, if you're going to fix things like daylight savings time, let's get crazy with it, man. Let's fix some broken, ridiculous crap that we have in this country that we've had for a long time. The imperial system, I mean, it works, but don't tell me how many
man on the moon.
How many feet are in a mile?
Quit lying.
How many feet are in a mile? Nobody knows that. There's
5,280. Yes.
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 Talk about obscure numbers that y'all had to memorize. You get to the metric system, you don't have to think about it. It's a factor of 10. Done.
Is that really that easy?
It's that easy. Yes.
Really?
1 meter, a kilometer is 1,000 meters.
That's it. Done. Yes.
Why don't we do that?
Thank you!
Look,
That's what I'm saying.
And I'm really dumb, so...
And a centimeter is 1/100th of a meter.
Yeah.
So.
Also, Miss Sheila, 5,280. I'm like, okay, so asking people how many feet were in a mile apparently was the wrong metric to choose. Whatever.
Backfire.
How many ounces are in a... I can't even say that, because I'm sure somebody will have that one too. Like, how many ounces are in a gallon?
128.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that one either.
Okay, so that one's not fair because most people who do any type of cooking or baking are going to be able to round that one off. So that one's... I'll give you that one. Look, I'm sticking up for you. I'm giving you that one.
Pumpkin.
Like, the idea is, like, if you said, like, how many this or that and the other from stupid article automotive thing, that would be way harder than, like, the ounces in a cooking thing. Why am I Englishing right now?
I'm struggling to figure out what he said. But I know that he's on my side, Team Greg, so I'm okay with that.
I swear to God, I almost made a Team Greg sticker. And I promised Kathleen that I was going to make her a Team Greg t-shirt.
Yeah, I want
a
Team Greg t-shirt and a nuclear shirt.
Nuclear?
Nuclear.
Nuclear.
No.
Still no?
No.
Nothing.
No.
Nuclear.
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 There you go.
Nuclear.
He can be taught, ladies and gentlemen.
Nuclear. Nuclear?
Look, hit the people with your socials.
Is that what it is?
It's
how many feet are in a rod? Approximately 32.
Roundabouts. Rounding error.
What's a rod?
It was a biblical unit of measurement.
I was going to say cubit.
Why do you know that? Okay, no, answer the question.
Yeah.
Why is everybody Team Greg?
Yes! Undefeated. Undefeated. I'm telling you.
Who is on my side?
Look, I'm not going to let you look at my bank statement for a while because I can't tell you how much I have to pay these people for them to be on Team Greg, but I mean, you know.
I feel like I'm getting the short end of the stick here.
It's...
The rod.
It's...
Thanks, Stats.
I got jokes and jokes.
I don't feel that this is fair.
It's people recognize greatness. I think that's what it boils down to.
We had one question in the chat. Do you want to answer? Amplify or Google Wi-Fi?
Okay. Good
you
question.
get 7 seconds.
What is better, Amplify? Is that Amplify system good, or is the Google Wi-Fi better? That's difficult. If you need any type of complexity in your setup, go with the Amplify. If you want the simplest and one of the cheapest Wi-Fi systems to set up, go with the Google Wi-Fi system. It is not without its problems. Do your research first. Don't be surprised if you have to return it. There are known problems. That's all I'll say.
Watch our video.
And keep your eye on the channel in the future. We might have something in the realm of upcoming non-expensive Wi-Fi systems.
Ooh, teaser!
Yeah. Got lots of Wi-Fi stuff coming. So
actually, it is Team Greg. Everybody, you know what? This is what happens when you're the CEO. Everybody loves the people who are not the CEO, and that's okay.
I think what it comes down to is people like you've got the CEO, and you've got the people just do stuff. And so...
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
Let's go that way.
Let's go look at our our library of videos.
Anyway,
that's okay.
You want to hit the people with your socials?
At Scott Peachy on Twitter, at the Scott Peachy on Instagram, and I have. I don't know what you mean by reaction videos, but we'll get to that. Probably not though.
I know what you're talking about.
I don't know, but he'll tell me offline.
Yeah.
I have 3, and I have so many videos coming up, and they're all about like mobile photography, mobile videography. Like I am in that realm. I'm gonna make videos with my phone the whole way. Like I've done
do end to end.
So I have to steal that mic back.
I mean that's fine. It's only used for this anyway. So.
Only because I'm trying to make it easy. I have some ideas.
We'll
talk about it offline.
You have my permission. You can find me on Twitter and Twitter only because it's the only real social media platform out there at Ominous Hominid. And don't at me, bro, because I mean I don't care about the other social media platforms. I'm a terrible person. I'm a terrible social media critic, whatever.
And yet, Team Greg.
And yet, Team Greg. Look, people know. I think people agree that Twitter's at least redeemable. Facebook is cancer.
Well, that's because I'm not on Facebook.
There you go. And Instagram's not much better because it's also owned by Facebook. Boom, shots fired. Say something.
Ooh, I don't know. Instagram is really cool.
It is really cool. I gotta give him that. I can't even talk too much about it. Anyway, thank you all so much for stopping by. This has been the Technically Speaking live show experience. We appreciate all of your eyeballs and comments and all the words and stuff and senses of humor and all that jazz.
We love it. Come back next Thursday.
You absolutely should. Look, as long as the thing don't happen on Thursday, I'm good with it.
Okay.
Because by that point, it'll be a non-issue. Well, I'll probably have some news by next Thursday. So
that may be a thing.
Just a little thing. Check back for that one. Yeah, that's it. Thank you all so much for stopping by. And hey, we'll see you all next week.
Have a good day.
Have a good day.